What is changing in your career? What changes do you need to be ready for? What action do you need to take in order to get ahead of these changes? What momentum can you anticipate happening from these changes? These are all questions that we have around our career, around finances, around our money. And today, these are the questions that I'm going to be looking into as I provide 3 different readings. And I want you right now to connect in with your intuition and decide which number you're drawn towards. The number 1, the number 2, or the number 3. Take a moment to quiet yourself and just which number jumps out at you. This could be visual. This could be a pull when the number was said. This could be an audible pull. There's so many ways that your intuition can speak with to you. Which number do you feel drawn towards? And the way that I am going to connect with you all with this is I'm going to pull 1 anchor tarot card for each of these readings. So if a number didn't jump out to you, now is your chance to tune into yourself. And as I'm pulling 1 card for each group, just see which one jumps out to you. I'm not going to flip them over. They're going to stay downright. We'll flip them when we start the reading. All right, so group number 1. We have group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. All right. Again, we're answering the question, what changes can you anticipate in your career? What is coming up next in your career? This is what we're looking at today. We have group 1, group 2, and group 3. Made your decision? All right. Let's get into the reading. We're going to start off with group 1. And you guys, let me just introduce myself for those of you who are new here. My name is Serena. I am an intuitive psychic. I work over at 1-2-Listen, where you can find me for personal and private readings. And I'm available 24/7. You just have to send a request and I will schedule a call. And we can get one going where you and I can just talk and connect and answer the questions that are most pressing on your mind. I have my videos released every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. That time may be changing to Wednesdays. Keep an eye out for that change. That'll be happening in the next couple of weeks. And I'll let you guys know. So subscribe and turn on those notifications so that you can receive more readings like this. All right, group number 1. If you felt drawn to the number 1 all the way to the left, you felt it tug at your solar plexus when I picked this card is for you. We have the 10 of Cups upright. Wonderful. I love this as your anchor card. There's good change coming. Good. So with the 10 of Cups, we see harmony. We see stability. You see providing stability for your family, consistency, security. When we look at the 10 of Cups within the context of career and finances, the change that we could be anticipating is potentially, like, the thing that's coming to mind intuitively is for those of you in education, I see tenure. Right? Finally getting that incredible job security. For those of you who are in business, I see, or, more of a traditional salary position. Maybe you're going into salary and going from an hourly rate to a salary position, or getting that boost and finally reaching that next bracket that you've been looking for. There's a lot more security coming your way for your finances. For those of you who are less traditional and in more freelance work, this definitely feels like maybe getting a recurring contract that is going to be coming in every month. The 10 of Cups tells us so much about consistency and tells us there's just financial security coming your way. Let me see what action you need to take to secure this, if there's anything. The Dragon. So you're already in a very powerful position. I feel you doing a lot of work in the years coming up to this, where you're laying the groundwork to be ready to receive this. Let's see if there's any other work, action you need to take now. Trust that you've, okay. So no, this is a very clear answer. No, there is no action that you need to take to make this happen for yourself. But let's see, what blocks are there that could be holding you back, resisting you? All right, so we have the spider in reversed. Oh, I'm so glad I asked this question. The spider in reverse, when we're talking about blocks, what could hold you back from experiencing and truly accepting the beautiful 10 of Cups energy? I feel there's a block in your creativity, and you may feel restricted and maybe boxed in. And intuitively, this feels tied to fear of this not coming through. Let me see. What's the fear that's restricting us here? Yeah, you're afraid that this change won't happen. We have the swan, which is transformation. It's trusting your intuition. This is a wonderful signifier of change. And so I feel you really holding yourself back from being creative and going out and trying new things. And, and it's interesting because you've been playing it safe in order to get to this place of stability and security. And the thing that's blocking you is the fear that you'll never be able to do this. That's what's coming through. The fear that you'll never be able to truly just trust your intuition, trust your own psychic gifts, allow yourself to be creative, because this is what's worked, right? You having this structure, this power, and the strength to remain disciplined. That is what's worked in order to get you to this point of security. But the transformation that I see coming, you see what happens after this change, after this security is here. We have perception. It's a wonderful card of you, the way you see yourself and the way that the rest of the world sees you starts to line up. And we have the owl. When upright, it's all about wisdom. Okay, so this puts you in a really stable position where you have the perception, the reputation in order to know that you can depend on this security. There's a lot of stability I see coming your way. So I see you being able to explore this more. And there's something that's coming intuitively about balance that I really want to touch on really quick for you. Okay. Yeah, there we go. That's the card that was actually just in my mind. All right. So balance, boundaries. Think about the cat walking up on a telephone wire, the incredible things that cats do, and with balance and everything. They're also very clear. I love this card because it is so clear. It's easy to remember that symbol of a cat who they have their boundaries. You don't need to question them or push them at all. They have their boundaries, and they will remind you of them. No problem. Don't touch me. I don't want to be bothered right now. Or no, I would like pets right now, right? They're very clear on what they want and when they want it. So the balance that I feel is really important and needed for you right now, as you are in the process of accepting all of this stability, all of this security, this beautiful 10 of Cups energy, as you're in the process of accepting this within your career and within your finances, you need the balance of being able to take this security and allow it to give yourself that permission to be a little more creative and trust your intuition and kind of relax a little bit in the structure that you've had this whole way. But you can't let go of it completely. You need to maintain these boundaries, and it's almost like you need to go into this next stage of your career with very clear rules for yourself and for any sort of exploration, adventure that you're going to do when it comes to your career. And this is not talking about your personal life. I'm talking about getting creative within your career, right? Getting creative and allowing your intuition to guide you a bit more within your career. Because within this, I do feel you've been so restricted and operating on a very tight guideline on what you can and can't do, and you crave a bit more creativity here. And maybe that's flexibility with your hours, or maybe that's flexibility with your budget, or maybe it's flexibility with the kind of people you work with. Like if you're freelance, the clients you accept or that you don't accept, you can probably be turning away clients now and trusting your intuition that is going to line up. So with the change, to answer the initial question, the change that is coming for you is stability. You are fully prepared to receive this, I see, and you do not need to take any additional action in order to make this happen. The ball is already rolling. The change is going to bring opportunity for you to get more creative, trust your intuition more, and bring additional change, right? This one brings additional change. As long as you maintain boundaries around keeping some of this structure, right? And what's next for you is let's touch on this perception a little more. How does this perception play into it? This feels very tied to your reputation. So the serpent, when in reversed, it's all about knowledge and healing. There's some wounds here that you're healing. You're finally ending this cycle, it feels, that you've had of maybe not being, there's some reputation here, right? You're maybe not being reliable, or maybe you're still recovering from my financial struggle from years ago and you can't get under that fear or that reputation for it, right? The perception that you've been battling against, it's balancing out finally. The serpent sheds its skin and releases that cycle. When in reverse, it's knowing that there's a cycle that you can let go of that you don't need to repeat. This is an opportunity for you to let go of that as well. All right, group number 1, let's throw a quick action card for you from our Sacred Feminine deck. This is just a wonderful little catchphrase or mantra that you can say as you're going about feeling through your way through your career. Group 1, what do you need to hear? Go for a walk. Because you don't need to do any other action in order to make this happen, right? You already have everything in play in order to embrace the 10 of Cups energy. So go for a walk. Look at how she is in community here. She is with her family. She's with her people. Go for a walk. Go be in nature. Breathe some fresh air. Be with people. Don't accept this in isolation, because that feels like intuitively that's another change that's coming up for you, group 1. That's definitely another change that's coming up for you. Is that balance. We're right back to the cat energy, actually. Group 1, you're going to have a lot more balance when it comes to work and play, when it comes to being adventurous and taking risks and having fun. Allow that to be a part of this, and to go out and be in nature. Allow that to be a part of this journey as well. All right, group 2. Group 2, we are answering the question, what change is coming up in my career? Let's see. Ooh, we have the Emperor. Oh, okay, so big change. So when the Emperor shows up in the area of our career, the change that needs to come in is more discipline, more structure, and more participation. It's more participation in what is going on within your career. This is absolutely an action card. And the change I see you stepping in to meet the change as it's coming. So it does feel like significant change. And the Emperor here is signifying how you react to this change. So let's see, what's the quality of the change? All right. So the Wind Fairy points us towards intellect. It points us towards your thought process, how words are used within your career, within your work. This feels like a very formal change. And it has to do with boundaries. It has to do with more independence. All right. So the change that's coming up for you, group 2, feels very tied to you gaining more independence and depending more on your intellect. And so for some of you, this feels like you being given a project where you are working on it independently or with a very small team underneath you. For some of you, this actually feels like a very significant career change that is going from maybe working in one specific type of environment into something completely new. But it feels like it's in an area that you have great knowledge of. You know this area really well, though it feels like such a stark contrast to what you've had before. And there's a lot more independence here. There's a lot more independence. So what do you need to know about this change? It'll happen. Okay. You're going to start seeing signs of it. We have the Fire Fairy in reverse. You're going to start seeing signs of this change coming. And when it does come, it is going to happen quickly. The Fire Fairy is all about speed. Like, think of how quickly fire catches and takes off, right? This is all about speed. And I feel how badly you're craving this change. But this Fire Fairy also in reverse invites us to be optimistic and to be patient. Once this does start, it's going to take off like crazy and go really fast. But you need to have some patience until then, because you're going to be waiting just a little while. For some of you, you're waiting longer than others, so I won't get specific, but you will definitely be waiting for a moment. But I see you getting those signals and those signs coming in soon that this opportunity is coming up. See, is it this year? Yeah, it's happening sometime this year. We just have protection. It is this year. And you're protected until then. You have security within your position currently until then. And this feels like a peaceful transition. Let's throw a bit more on that. What kind of transition do we have between these two? And it's not a career change for all of you. For some of you, but it's a pivot. There's a definite pivot happening, and the Emperor is calling on your intellectual expertise, your structure, your discipline, and you will be relying so heavily on both the energy of the Emperor and the energy of the Wind Fairy here in this new stage of your career, in this change that's coming up. And let's see, how is this transition going to go between where you're currently at and this new role, new responsibility, or new job entirely? Okay, we have the Mystery, which is a beautiful confirmation card. This transition will be seamless. You're going to go from one great path that you're on right now, or not so great path for some of you, seamlessly into a really clear path that there's no hesitation here. And I feel it being peaceful with the people that you work with as well. So let's see, what is blocking you from accepting this change? Okay, we have the Grail Knight, which points me towards traditions. It points me towards romantic connections. Let's see over here. Your family, your home. There's some of you, this may be breaking tradition within your family. Maybe you're leaving the family business. This is a big transition. This tells me this is a really big transition for a lot of you. For those of you, maybe you and your partner or your loved one, you work the same job, you have the same role, and this will be whole new territory for you guys, where you don't have that empathy for what each other's worlds is, and there's fear there. So there's a romantic connection here of what's blocking you. It could be your partner, it could be your loved one, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. And just, I'm not feeling, is there anything you need to do? Acknowledge the risk. All right, so we have risk in reverse. Acknowledge the risk. Have that conversation with this person. It feels like for all of you, this points me towards the block is a person for all of you. There is a person that was the block here that you just need to have this conversation and acknowledge the risk. You need to acknowledge the risk. All right, and how will that conversation go? Okay, you'll be fine. It'll take some time. We have forgiveness in reverse. You'll be fine. It'll take a bit of time, and it'll take some time and effort to heal this, but they will understand. I see them having great empathy for you eventually. It's just going to take some time, and it's just going to take some time. But the conversation is needed. You need to acknowledge the risk. You can't let it go unsaid. All right, let's check in on one thing. What do you need in order to fully embrace this Emperor energy? You need to get creative. Wonderful. So we have the Spider upright. This tells me that though you are stepping into something where you have the knowledge and the experience, and you have the discipline, in order to fully embrace this, you need to balance it with creativity. You have to balance it with creativity. If you don't, I see you losing that discipline actually because you need to be inspired. This actually, the creativity here actually feels like your inspiration, and it feels like your motivation as well. Though this is a wonderful opportunity, you're going to need this more motivation in order to get through this challenge here, this block with your family and with your loved ones. And they also need to be able to see that spark in you. You can't approach this whole thing from the Emperor energy, as it feels like a lot of you do naturally thrive in that discipline. You need to have the balance of it as well, of having that creativity and having that passion for it and allowing yourself to be a little flexible as well. All right. Let's connect with our Sacred Feminine deck. What's your motto? What is your action card as you're working your way through this stage in your career for group 2? Honor your sexuality. Well, this is tying straight into a lot of your connection with your loved one here. For those of you that this speaks to your, here, let's get her up here. Where this speaks to your romantic relationships. There's something that's truly personal about this as well, though. And this tells me have that time for yourself and to connect with yourself. Connect with your own, connect with nature around you. Be honest with yourself. The word honor here is really resonating with me. And be proud. Be proud. All right, group 2. So just to sum it up, you have incredible change coming up for you. You are going to have that career change. You're going to have that responsibility change. You're pivoting into something where you have great intellect and there's confidence there as well. And you have that independence. There's a lot that's going to be riding on your shoulders in a new way, but you're fully capable and you need to approach this with discipline. If you have one message you're walking away from this, it is you need the Emperor's energy balanced with the energy of the Spider, balanced with that creativity. This is going to take a bit of time to get started, but once it gets started, it's going to take off. You're protected until then within your position, and this transition is going to happen seamlessly. Have the conversation with your loved ones. Do not let the risk go unsaid. All right? You need to acknowledge that there's risk here. Have that conversation. Don't let it go unsaid. And honor your sexuality. Connect with yourself. Make sure that's part of your time. The cat is also all about healthy boundaries. Make sure you have time for your loved ones and for your partners and for your love life. All right. There we go. That sums up our question of what is next for you in your career. Group 2. Let us jump in with group 3. Let's see. We have the 4 of Pentacles in reversed. All right. So when we see the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, when we're talking about change within our career, I feel you've been a little risky, group 3. It seems like you've been gambling a bit with the security that you've had. And the 4 of Pentacles points us towards when it's in reverse, the need for structure, the need for balance. I mean, this man is incredibly balanced. You see, he's got one on each foot, one in the center, and he is balancing one on the top. He thrives on structure, thrives on stability, and is very proud of it. And there's so much discipline there. It's so interesting that these are our 3 cards for today. But the group 3, this tells me that you have not had this structure. You have not had this discipline. And the 4 of Cups in reverse, when we're looking at our career, just tells me you've been a bit risky. And so when we're looking at the change that's coming up, I feel you starting to see the impact of these risks. So let's take a look at what is the impact of these risks that you've taken. And then we can dive into what kind of change is going to happen from there. So what is the impact of these risks that you've taken? Okay. Yes, there's our confirmation. I just threw risk upright. And there's restriction in reverse. So I see you having to budget a bit more. I see a shift in your finances. And I see you also, let me see what action you need to take. All right, so you've been a little too confident. We just threw the Wind Fairy in reverse. You don't, it's like you, okay, the Wind Fairy in reverse tells me you need to kind of go back and lean on your mentors a bit more, lean on your community a bit more, the people in your family, the key people in your community who have been doing what you're doing for years and decades longer than you. Go talk to them. They've been in this position before. You are, and for some of you, you've been doing this for a really long time, but there are still people around you who know more or have more experience about doing this kind of work in the economy that we're in right now, or at the specific challenge that you're facing right now, right? And for those of you, like the example coming to mind, like for those of you in the service industry, you haven't saved well enough for the dry spell you're going through coming up, right? With the tips not being as affluent as they used to be. For those of you in more of a business context, it feels like you were handed a project that you should have asked for support for earlier, and now it's not going to succeed unless you step in soon and ask for help now, even though you may be wondering if it's too late. For those of you who are running your own business or are freelance, it definitely feels like you have been gambling a bit with the finances that you have, and need to pull back and just have a bit more restriction. You're lacking restriction, right? Restriction in reverse tells me you need more restriction. You need more discipline. You need more guidelines. This points us straight back to the Four of Pentacles in reverse as well. All right, so what action do you need to take in order to not reverse this? Is we can't, I don't see us being able to fully, but to be able to heal this quickly enough to be able to recover. What action do you need to take to get us on the path of recovery here? We're pulling both of these. All right, so we have the Deer in reversed, and we have Death in reversed. All right, so let's just acknowledge Death. This is an incredible card to receive right now. This means that there's change actually. Death simply means the end of something and the beginning of something new. It is a wonderful signifier of change. And when we have Death in reverse, I feel it's telling me that you are resisting this change. Part of the risks and the gambles that you've been making, or you not thinking clearly, or not leaning on your community as much and thinking you have it all figured out, is because you've been resisting this change. This change doesn't feel, the shift that's coming and what's ending before our new beginning comes in. Let's see, what's on the other side of this change? Let me just, we have the butterfly. The butterfly on the other side of this change. The butterfly is a wonderful symbol of change. A wonderful symbol of change. Think about the process of transforming from a caterpillar into a butterfly. It is not a beautiful process, but the result is beautiful. It's actually quite a gross process, right? Going completely into pulp in the cocoon and then turning into a beautiful butterfly. You're currently in the transformation from going from the caterpillar, turning into pulp and reinventing yourself entirely and turning into the butterfly. You're in the gross part of this change. You can't resist it or you're going to stay pulp. I'm really running with this expression here, but it's working. It makes so much sense with what is coming through here. You are resisting this so significantly, and that is what is making you be a little riskier, making you not run within the guidelines that you know will lead you to success, leading you to not leaning on your community. You're not being diplomatic or being gentle with yourself either, which is what we see here with the Deer in reverse. You're lacking that, it's almost like you're also lacking your charisma. You're lacking that personality that for so many of you helps your career. Our personalities are such a big part of our career and who we are within our career. And I feel you being so stuck in fear that you aren't allowing that to come through to help you in your career. All right, so let's take a look at this. What's the action that you need to take? Step 1 is talk to your mentors, talk to your community, to your family, people who know more than you do and can provide you with sound advice. Let's see how that conversation is going to go. You're going to be just fine. We just got forgiveness. This conversation, you will be well received. You will be but what's coming through is almost like you are hoping for forgiveness in this conversation, going into this conversation, but you're going to be met with, oh, there's nothing to forgive you for. We all make mistakes. We all get scared. You are safe. These people who you're going to go to, mentors, family, loved ones, you are safe. And they have the solution. All right. I feel like that's all that needs to be said here. Let me see. Any last messages? We have the spider in reverse again. All of you have this interesting connection with the spider energy today. The spider in reverse, the last message you need to hear in this third group, you guys, is this fear that you have of this change that has led to the risks and to the not sound decisions and you gambling and just not running with your normal guidelines and rules, right? It's also blocking you from being creative. The spider builds this beautiful web out of nothing, and it's different every time. There's so much creativity within the energy of the spider, and you are not thriving when you aren't using it. So you need to allow yourself to have that creativity into play, and you need to do it within the boundaries that have led you to success before, because you know how to succeed. And this change that's coming is positive change. Just remember, the butterfly is on the other side of this change. It's different for all of you. I won't go into the quality of what this change is for you because it feels like that is so varying. But if you would like more information, you can ask a question in the comments. I'd be happy to provide more clarity for your specific situation. Yeah, all right. Throw an action card for you. Group 3 for your mantra as we look at you tackling this upcoming change. What do you need to hear? What's your action card? Play a drum. Make some noise. Play a drum. Connect with rhythm. Connect with rhythm and nature. And every card here points me towards nature. Always go out and be in nature. But play a drum and listen to your inner drum. Listen to your inner intuition. You need to wake her back up. She's here with the spider too. And you've been ignoring her because she will also lead you back to this, being able to embrace this change. All right. Okay, group 3. You've made some mistakes, and that's okay. We all do. There's forgiveness waiting for you, and there's beautiful change coming for you. Just make sure you work within your restrictions, allow yourself to be creative, and lean on your people. Step 1, go talk to people. Don't do this in isolation. Step 1, go talk to people. Go talk to your mentors. All right. All right, you guys. Those are our 3 readings for our career reading this week. Let's check in on all of our zodiac signs, all right? So I like to connect with all 12 signs and just throw one of my sacred feminine cards for each of you. There's so much wisdom in this deck. I love this deck, and it is so tied to nature and to the sacred feminine, and I believe we all need more of that in our lives, whether you're a man or a woman, and whether you currently get out into nature or you don't. So it's always simpler than you think. You can always just step outside and get the sun on your face. That's sometimes all you need. Or connect with water, or connect with earth, right? Or sit in front of a fire, or light a candle. There's so many ways you can connect with all the elements. All right. Let's throw an action card for you all. Pay attention to your sun, moon, and your rising sign. And if you don't know your chart at all, go check out 12reports.com. I'll have the link in the description below, and you can see all of the options available to you for your astrology charts and wonderful readings there. All right. So we are still in our Taurus season. Let's start with Taurus and see what message comes through for you, Taurus. Go into nature. All right, Gemini. Quest for a new vision. Cancer. Move your body. I love that one. All right. Leo. Honor your emotions. All right, here we're gonna Virgo. Honor your sexuality. All right. Libra. Let your waters flow. Scorpio. Give away an item. Release. I love that. Sagittarius. It's time for ceremony. Capricorn. Oh, Capricorn, you got 2. Your intuition is telling you something. And let yourself rage, howl, and wail. Okay, Capricorn. I love that. Aquarius. Release your shame. Pisces. Pisces. Listen to the bird. Listen to the song of the birds. And Aries. Reuse something. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will have a new video out next week. If the time does change this next week, I will let you know in a post. And I will see you all next time. Please stay tuned. We have a wonderful lineup at 1-2 Radio today. Up next, we have C.A. Brooks with Everyday Astrology. You can find her at Everyday Astrology on YouTube, and I'll put her link in the description below. After C.A. Brooks, we have Kelly Whetstone with Empowerment, which you can also find her by the same name on YouTube. She will be at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And finally, we have Miss Katie Weaver, who you can find her on YouTube for at the handle Domestic Mystic. She'll be at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Thanks so much for joining me today, you guys. I will see you all next time.